Yo, what up guys? Sammy Lee here from the Soul Brothers, and today we have basically one of my favorite shoes, maybe even all time. I really like playing this shoe, but of last year and this year, I'd say it's top 3 for me as far as Harden Volume 3 goes. And I'm going to be versing it. I know versing is not a word, but I like to say it. I will be versing it against the Kobe AD NXT Fast Fit, or FF. This thing is $200 freaking. This is 140 bucks, I believe, and then the Prime Knit versions are probably around 150, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but that's around the price. So around $60, the price difference. So we'll have to see which one is better. So yeah, let's get it started off with the traction. So the Harden Volume 3, you have a herringbone traction pattern. Incredible in my experience. I mean, no problems at all on any surface. Like clean court, really hard bite, nice solid squeaky sound. I like to have a really squeaky traction pattern. That's just me. It doesn't affect performance, but I just like to have a squeak. And then durability seems really good as well, even though like the outsole seems really soft, like it's easy to move with my finger. But I have no frame, and I have nothing ripping off or anything, even on the edges of the shoe, and I play in the shoe a lot. So I mean, durability seems solid to me. I don't just from indoor use. I don't play outdoors often, so that's just my assessment. The Kobe ADs on the clean court is really good, but on a dusty court, it does pick up a little bit of dust, and it's not the easiest wipe either. But once you wipe it off, you have a few good stops again. Durability, I feel like the Kobe ADs might be a little bit worse. And there is a little bit of frame, just a little bit. I don't have anything like crazy ripping off. No, I kind of do, yeah. I have a few here in the heel and kind of like where the ball of your foot is. So overall, I would say the Harden Volume 3 is better, but the Kobe ADs is still like solid. Alright, moving on to the cushion. The cushion in the Hardens, we have full length boost. And then the ADs, we have React/Cushlon, and it's a drop-in midsole. And I thought it was gonna be sexy, sort of sexy time for your feet, but it's kind of not, to be honest. And as far as court feel goes, they're both really good, incredible for court feel, and just I love it. In the heel, I would say the Harden feels a little bit bouncier. Obviously, since it is a drop-in midsole, you do have this hard plastic caging here, and it feels a little bit more clunky, And also, the Harden Volume 3 has a really crappy insole, but the strobe board is more of like the softer strobe board, so you can feel the boost like right underneath your foot. It feels pretty comfortable, actually really comfortable. I can't feel the cushion as much as the Kobe's, because these feel soft, but it's still really nice in the Hardens. As far as the forefoot goes, they're both like really thin cushions in the forefoot, so mostly just responsive. But the forefoot is still pretty nice because you're right on top of that React/Cushlon, so in the Kobe's. But as far as like really hard impacts, the Kobe's are like pretty bad. The Hardens, I would say, aren't the best either for really hard impacts, heel strikes, and just like landing really hard on your forefoot or something. Still not the best, but the Hardens, I would say, is a little bit better for impact protection. So overall, I would say I like the Harden Volume 3 just a little bit better, even though the Kobe's are pretty nice. Alright, moving on to the materials. The Harden Volume 3, depending on the colorway, you have different materials. You have a Prime Knit version on its regular colorways. You have like an EM type of like textile material. And obviously on this colorway, you have a synthetic type of material. And the synthetic material feels real not good booty cheeks. But I mean, it softens up. I mean, it's not the thinnest material either. So yeah, I really don't like this colorway, but my Prime Knit colorway is actually really nice. Pretty damn thick though, so you definitely feel it. It's not minimal at all. Very opposite from the Kobe's. The Kobe's really minimal, very thin materials, and it thickens up a little bit here in the ankle area, in both the shoes. But I would say it's a little bit more puffy. Actually, yeah, it's a little bit puffier in the Kobe's. But as far as materials go, if I'm talking about the Prime Knit version, I don't know. I like both of them. It all depends on what you like. If you like a cozier material, they're both soft, but if you like a cozier material and a little bit thicker, I would say go with the Hardens. If you like a really minimal upper, then go with the Kobe's. And also, as far as heel to toe transition goes, I would say the Hardens are a lot smoother, and it doesn't follow in the design, horrible Adidas design of like making the shoe like extremely flat. It has a little bit of a curve here in the forefoot, and the boost does compress a good amount here in the heel, so it's just a nice heel to toe transition. It's fluid. The Kobe's are still really nice. It's also really flexible here in the forefoot in both of the shoes. But it's just a little clunky here in the heel because it is a drop-in midsole, and they made the shape pretty edgy. Moving on to the fit. The fit, go true to your Adidas size in the Hardens, and it's pretty damn tight. I would say it's slightly narrow and really pretty damn tight in the toe box area. But go even farther than that, and that's what you get from the Kobe's. Like, it's super narrow and even tighter in the toe box area in the Kobe's. So I mean, if you go true to size, it should be fine. Actually, no, it's still gonna be tight, but like lengthwise, it's still a little long. And I would not suggest going down half a size unless you have a really skinny foot. So yeah, for me, I would say the Harden Volume 3 fits my foot a little bit better. As far as putting it on, the Hardens are actually a little bit easier because you have this very high heel tab, and it opens up a lot. I mean, the Kobe's are still like really easy to put on. But actually no, yeah, they're both really easy to put on. And obviously the fast fit's gonna be a little bit faster because you just slide it on, strap, pull the fast fit system, and you're good to go. Obviously you have to tie this up. So as far as support and lockdown goes, they're both really good for me, adequate, and no issues at all for me for lateral containment. The Hardens are super low to the ground. You have a sort of an outrigger. It's a very wide base as well, so I didn't have any issues with lateral stability, and same with the Kobe's. And also, you have a little bit of something on your ankle here with this strap, and you have, it feels good on the ankle if you want ankle restriction. But I hated this Achilles thing here. It dug into my Achilles a lot, so there's that. But I'm sure there are people where it's not gonna affect them. So, all right, moving on to the weight. I'd say, I don't know, I think they're pretty similar. So 12.56 for the Kobe's and 12.38 for the Hardens. So a little bit lighter for the Hardens, 0.2 ounces, negligible. They both feel, actually no, I don't know. Like the Kobe's feel super minimal because of the toe area, but then it just, I feel like this rubber and like the padding in the ankle area makes it feel a little bit more like heavy and a little bit bulkier than it should. I mean, they should have really gotten rid of this here. The Hardens are just like puffy throughout the entire shoe. So I'd say the Kobe's feel a little bit more minimal, even though the weight is actually a little bit heavier. But as far as responsiveness goes, they're both really responsive. You feel quick when you're playing in it. So I like that about both of them. Step-in comfort, they're both really comfortable. The cushion, you can feel the boost underneath your foot, and you can feel the drop-in mitts on the Kobe's. Very comfortable. So I tied up for casual use. Breaking time, they're both really good right at the box. I mean, the Hardens, with this material, you have to break in, but with the Prime Knit, you really don't need to. Ventilation, Hardens are super hot. Kobe's are not. So the Kobe's are better for ventilation. I feel like the Hardens are a little bit more durable. The outsole feels a little bit more durable, and you don't have this fast fit system where I feel like it might break. You just have a traditional lacing system. And also the materials are a lot thinner on the Kobe's, so I feel like you might get a hole in them a little bit easier as well. So Harden Volume 3 seems a little bit more durable. As far as aesthetics go, Kobe for the win, and I think most people would agree. Even though the Hardens aren't bad looking. Wrapping things up, $140, $150 for the Hardens, and then $200 for the Kobe. So obviously, if you're trying to save money, the Hardens are a banger, and they were on sale, I think, for like $100. I'm not sure if the sale is still going on. But if you're not worried about money, what is the better performer? I'd have to say the Hardens, because I play on a mostly dusty court, and the traction is a little bit better on dust. The cushion feels a little bit better for me personally because it's a little bit less clunky in the heel, and impact protection is a little bit better as far as for hard impacts. Materials, they're both good. Fit, they're both good. I mean, for me, the Hardens are a little bit better. And as far as performance goes, I would say the Harden wins. But if you really want the Kobe's and you really like how it looks, because aesthetics are actually important to a lot of people, I'd say you'd be fine with the Kobe's. They're still really nice performers. But in my personal opinion, I would say the Harden Volume 3 will have to take the cake. So anyways, if you guys want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. Hope you helped you guys out, and we'll see you guys next one. Peace.